Hello. So today we're gonna make energy bites. I have a lot of people ask me about this recipe, so I figured I would just come on and make them with you guys. So we're gonna make some energy bites because we are out and everybody loves energy bites around here. So I'm gonna share the recipe with you also. Now I double the recipe. The recipe is 1 cup of oats, a half a cup of chocolate chips, a half cup of ground flax seed, a half cup of peanut butter, a third cup of honey, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Like I said, I would double it because, well, we go through these like really fast. So you do what you need to do, but I see like tripling it in our future because I have to make these a lot. Now, also, different people do different things. Some people use quick oats and some people use old-fashioned. I do both, and sometimes I'll do half and half even. Sometimes I'll do half of the old-fashioned and half quick oats. It just varies. So you put your oats in, and then I add my peanut butter after that, and it would be a half a cup for you, but I'm doing a whole cup because I'm doubling mine. So I hope y'all are all having a good day. It's pretty here, but it's a little chilly. It's finally fall, so yeah. So these are super good. They give you that little bit of chocolate that you need when you need something chocolatey, but you don't want to like binge on something chocolate and eat like a whole candy bar or a whole pack of M&Ms, because that's me. But you know, so they're good for kids. My kids love them. Like, if I make energy bites, they're all gonna come running because they love them. My little kids, my big kids do too. Now, this is the ground flaxseed. I got this at Aldi. So you can get it at Aldi, Walmart, health food store, Amazon, whatever. And the recipe is for a half a cup. So of course I have to put more than that. And if you don't like the flaxseed or the texture of the flaxseed, then leave it out. I mean, but it's good for you. So I suggest putting it in. If your kids are not crazy about it or the texture, which I really don't taste it, but different people have different issues and sensory issues and all that. So if you need, add very little, and then every couple times you make it, increase. It's pretty, you know, that's the way I do things. So for honey, it says to do a third of a cup. So I have to double that. So let me know in the comments if you make energy bites, if your family likes energy bites as much as mine. So you just add your honey, and you're gonna make these, and the best thing to do is to make them and then put them in the refrigerator and let them chill before making them into balls. They will ball up better if they are cold. If you try to ball them up before they're cold, they're gonna make a mess, okay? Your hands are gonna be disgusting and they're just not gonna form that well. And then when you put them in your bowl or container, they're gonna kind of mush together. So then you're also gonna add vanilla, and sorry, but I eyeball it. But it smells so good. I don't know, I love the smell of vanilla, like absolutely love it. So I just add a few things and then I start stirring. Now it can be a little difficult to stir with the peanut butter, but if you just keep going round and round, it will eventually stir up. I always stir it and then add my chocolate chips. So you do you, but that's the way I do it. So I have it pretty much mixed up, and I'm going to get chocolate chips out. Let's see, the recipe specifically calls for a half cup, so I would put a cup in. But hey, let's just be honest. Most of the time I just like pour something in. Might be a cup, might be a little more, might be a little less. You never know what you're gonna get. But I don't always follow recipes. I just kind of make stuff sometimes. So, anyway, put your chocolate chips in, stir it up. And once you get it really good and combined and stirred, then just stick it in the refrigerator. I normally do it for like an hour. If you don't have long and you really need to get these made, like, hello, my kids are gonna be home in an hour and they're probably gonna want these if they know I made them because we've been out for a couple days. Stick them in the freezer for about 15 minutes and then you can make them form better. Now, sometimes I've been known to, sorry, a text message, to get them and I think they're like really kind of too gooey. Like, okay, this to me looks a little bit gooey. Like it could be a little more firm. Just add a little more oats. And if you add more oats, it's just gonna go further. And my kids just absolutely love them. So the more you have, the better. Now, after you make them, you do need to refrigerate them. So it is, just put them in a storage container and a dish of some sort and keep them in the refrigerator. So I am just trying to get all this combined now that I added in. And your chocolate chips will pretty much be dispersed evenly. If not, keep a handful out for when you're making your little balls and add them to it. So, I am just gonna stick this in the fridge and let it get good and chilled. I'll probably do about 30 minutes. I may end up putting them in the freezer so that I can ball them out. So then I just get about a handful, small handful. I make different sizes because my little kids, sometimes I don't want them to have a big one. So I'll just make, some smaller ones. And it's easy to do that. So I make different sizes. You make what size works for you and your family. But that's what I do. So make you some energy bites and let me know what you think of them. We absolutely love them. I did want to come on and share with you also a story that I read that really hit home for me. I don't know about you if your kids watch TV a lot, if you have the TV on a lot in your house, or watch iPads or games like that. But this really hit home for me, and I probably just gave it away. But anyway, yes, I will post the recipe, Leah. Okay, so here is this little story, and I just want you to listen for a minute, okay? A few years ago, after I was born, my dad met a stranger who was new to our small town. From the beginning, Dad was enchanted with this newcomer and soon invited him to live with our family. The stranger was quickly accepted and around from then on. As I grew up, I never questioned his place in my family. In my young mind, he had a special niche. My parents were complementary instructors. Mom taught me good from evil, and Dad taught me to obey. But the stranger, he is and was our storyteller. He would keep us spellbound for hours on end with adventures, mysteries, and comedies. If I wanted to know anything about politics, history, or science, he always knew the answers about the past, understood the present, and even seemed able to predict the future. He took my family to the first Major League Baseball game. He made me laugh and he made me cry. The stranger never stopped talking, but Dad didn't seem to mind. Sometimes Mom would get up quietly while the rest of us were shushing each other to listen to what he had to say, and she would go into the kitchen for peace and quiet. I wonder now if she ever prayed for the stranger to leave. Dad ruled our household with certain moral convictions, but the stranger never felt obligated to honor them. Profanity, for example, was not allowed in our home, not from us, not from our friends, or any visitors. Our longtime visitor, however, got away with four-letter words that burned my ears, made my dad squirm, and my mother blush. My dad didn't permit the liberal use of alcohol, but the stranger encouraged us to try it on a regular basis. He made cigarettes look cool, cigars manly, and pipes distinguished. He talked much too freely about sex. His comments were sometimes blatant, sometimes suggestive, and generally embarrassing. I know now that my early concepts about relationships were influenced strongly by this stranger. Time after time, he opposed the values of my parents, yet was seldom rebuked and never asked to leave. More than 50 years have passed since the stranger moved in with our family. He has blended right in and is not nearly as fascinating as he was at first. Still, if you could walk into my parents' den today, you would still find him sitting over in the corner waiting for someone to listen to him talk and watch him draw his pictures. His name? We just call him TV. He has a wife now. Her name is Computer. Their first child is called cell phone. Their second child is called iPad or tablet. You know, I am way too guilty of letting my TV stay on too long. I'm way too guilty of letting my kids have their phones and iPads way too long. And so this really hit me. Just listen to some of these things that I heard. Cinderella snuck out and arrived home after midnight. Hold on one second. Sorry, I turned the ringer off. Tarzan ran around practically naked. Pinocchio told lies. Aladdin was a thief. Batman drove over 200 miles per hour, and Snow White lived in a house with 7 men. Ariel disobeyed her father and sold her soul for a man. Popeye smoked a pipe and had tattoos. Pac-Man ran around to digital music while eating pills to enhance his performance. Robin Hood was a thief. Shaggy and Scooby were mysteriously solving hippies that always had the munchies. Jasmine was in a relationship with a homeless thief named Aladdin. Little Red Riding Hood didn't listen to her mother and left. And Sleeping Beauty was kissed by a stranger and she married him. Pretty much, my kids have watched all those. And then I ask myself, what is wrong with our generation? You know, you see things and you think, what is wrong with this generation nowadays? I mean, it's crazy. Where do they get these things, right? We are showing them these things, from our TVs to our phones to our iPads, the movies. We're giving them these examples. And it's sad. It really is. And I am all too guilty of it. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because I thought y'all might like to hear it. Because this is what we allow our kids to watch. And then we question morals. Marketing is very good. They have a strategy. It's called expose, involve, and upgrade. They expose you to something, they involve you in it, and then you need more. Same way as pornography. Pornography is the exact same way. They expose you to it by little things, then they involve you in it, and then you need more of it. Well, the TV's the same way. Drugs are the same way. Alcohol's the same way. And it's all marketing. And it's all in the way these things go. And it's terrible. But we just need to think about our future. The future of our world is in our homes right now. You know, that little boy that picks his nose and puts it on the wall, or wipes it on his pants, or eats it, he may be the next president. He could be the next pastor. He could be the next great missionary. That little girl that makes Play-Doh things and sticks them everywhere and makes a huge mess, she could be the next brain surgeon. She could grow up to be the person that creates a cure for cancer. So these little people that we are guiding is very important. And, you know, we really have to think about what the Bible says about it. I will share with you 2 verses that really came to mind when I heard this story and read this story. In Matthew 18:6 says, "Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be drowned in the depth of the sea." That's what God thinks about us, and if we are leading these little ones to sin. Another verse that is very similar is Luke 17:2, and it says, "It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were cast into the sea than that he should cause one of these little ones to sin." Wow. That's 2 different times in the Bible that God talks about that. And then Proverbs 22:6, of course, says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." So how are we training up our children? You know? So I just wanted to share that with you because it really hit home with me. It really made me think. So I just wanted to share it. Now, before I go, I do want to remind y'all of the sale we're having with Young Living right now. That's 20% off, and it is 20% off through the 25th. So through tomorrow, you can get. There's 5 different oils that you can get. The Thieves, which is good for immune support. It's good for. It's just very invigorating, and it smells like Christmas. Okay, so it's awesome. Lavender is a very relaxing oil. Helps you sleep. It helps hair. It helps skin. It can also help with sinuses, and it's just very calming and soothing. Peppermint. Peppermint will wake you up. It's good for tension. It's good for head issues. It's good for sinus issues. It helps oxygenate you for your breathing. It's also good for sore muscles. So, peppermint. Cedarwood. Cedarwood is great. It is very good for sleep. I put it in my sleep blend that I spray on the kids' pillows and our pillows, and I also use it in my diffuser. It's very good at night. So cedarwood is awesome. It's good for your sleep. It's also good for your hair. It's good for soothing muscles, and it's very calming. It's just a very grounding, calming smell. And Valor is also on sale. Like, Valor is like a chiropractor in a bottle, okay? If you need to go to a chiropractor and you don't have time or whatever, grab you a bottle of Valor. And it's very good for courage. It's very good for your emotions, like if you need supporting your emotions, and it's also very good for sleep. So if you have issues with sleep, there's a few of these that are really good. Now, if you have issues with, like right now, it used to be my kids are napping, I would be taking a nap. And yeah, there are days I still want to take a nap, and I could. But this is the supplement that I take that is awesome. Super Bee. and it will help you really be able to stay awake and have energy, lasting energy till bedtime. So Super Beet is awesome. So grab you a Super Beet. They are not humongous either. They're very easy to take. Some people take one around midday. Some people take two. It will make you pee that color, okay? It's just a warning. But if you need sustained energy that is healthy, these even have oils in them, so it's very good, and it's the seed distill also, so super important. So make you some energy bites for your family. Think about the little story I told you about the TV and about what God's Word says. And I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.